Imagine living in a remote farmhouse surrounded by nothing but fields and silence. Now imagine hearing strange footsteps in the attic, but no one is there. This isn't a horror movie. This is Hinterkaifeck, a real-life nightmare that remains unsolved to this day. On March 31st, 1922, a family of 5 and their maid were brutally murdered on their farm in Bavaria, Germany. But what makes this case truly chilling is that someone might have lived in the house after the murders. Let's dive into one of the most disturbing true crime mysteries in history. The Gruber family lived on a small farm in Hinterkaifeck, a tiny village near Munich. Andreas Gruber, the father, was a hard-working farmer who spent his days tending to crops and livestock. His wife, Casilia, was known for her quiet demeanor and dedication to her family. Their daughter, Victoria, often referred to as the mother, had 2 children of her own, little Casilia, a bright and curious girl, and Joseph, a baby boy. The household also included Maria Baumgartner, a new maid who had recently been hired to help with the chores. Life on the farm seemed ordinary, almost idyllic. Neighbors described the Grubers as a close-knit family who kept to themselves. They were respected in the community, though some whispered about peculiarities surrounding Victoria. Rumors suggested she had an affair with her employer, Andreas, which led to the birth of her children. These whispers, however, were dismissed as gossip by most. What no one could have predicted was that this quiet family would soon become the center of one of Germany's most infamous murder cases. Days before the tragedy, strange occurrences began to unsettle the Grubers. Andreas reported hearing footsteps in the attic late at night. He searched every corner of the house but found no explanation. Then, a newspaper appeared in the barn, a newspaper no one in the family admitted to bringing. Tools went missing from the shed, only to reappear mysteriously in the middle of the night. The family dog, usually alert and protective, refused to enter certain parts of the property. These eerie events were dismissed as coincidences or overactive imaginations, but they planted seeds of unease in the household. On the evening of March 31st, Maria Baumgartner confided in a neighbor that she wanted to leave her job at the farm. She expressed feeling uneasy, as if something wasn't right. Her instincts proved tragically accurate. She never got the chance to quit. That same night, someone entered the farmhouse armed with a mattock, a farming tool similar to a pickaxe. One by one, the killer struck down the entire family. Andreas, Casilia, Victoria, little Casilia, Joseph, and Maria were all murdered in cold blood. Their bodies were discovered days later when neighbors noticed smoke rising from the chimney of the farmhouse. Concerned that no one was answering the door, they entered the property and made the horrifying discovery. The victims had been killed in different parts of the house, suggesting a methodical and calculated attack. Investigators found evidence that the killer had taken time to clean up after the murders, removing traces of blood and rearranging furniture to conceal the crime scene. What investigators uncovered next added another layer of terror to the case. Someone had been living in the house after the murders. Food was eaten from the pantry. Clothes were changed. Even the livestock was fed. It was as if the killer, or someone else entirely, had decided to stay behind, haunting the very place where the brutal killings occurred. This bizarre detail left authorities baffled and fueled speculation about the identity of the perpetrator. To this day, the Hinterkaifeck murders remain unsolved. Over the years, numerous theories have emerged, each attempting to explain the inexplicable. Some believe it was a robbery gone wrong. Others think it was a crime of passion, possibly committed by someone close to the family. Let's explore some of the most compelling theories. One popular theory suggests that Victoria, the mother, had an affair with her employer, Andreas, and the killer sought revenge. This theory gained traction due to rumors about Victoria's past and the unusual dynamics within the household. However, it fails to explain why the entire family, including innocent children, was targeted. Another theory points to a local worker who may have held a grudge against the Grubers. Several laborers had been fired shortly before the murders, raising suspicions that one of them returned to exact vengeance. Some investigators propose that the killer was a drifter passing through the area. Given the isolated location of the farm, it's possible that a stranger stumbled upon the property and decided to rob it. When the family resisted, the situation escalated into violence. However, this theory doesn't account for the strange behavior observed after the murders. The footsteps, the missing tools, and the continued presence in the house. Perhaps the most unsettling theory is that the killer wasn't human at all. The eerie details of the case, the unexplained footsteps, the mysterious reappearance of objects, the feeling of being watched, have led some to speculate that the farm was cursed. Locals claimed the land had a dark history, with tales of witchcraft and supernatural occurrences dating back generations. While skeptics dismiss these claims as superstition, they add an undeniable layer of creepiness to the story. Over a century has passed since the Hinterkaifeck murders, yet the case continues to captivate those who hear about it. True crime enthusiasts, historians, and amateur sleuths alike are drawn to its haunting details and unanswered questions. Why did the killer target such a seemingly ordinary family? Who or what lived in the house after the murders? And why does the story still send shivers down our spines? The farmhouse itself became a symbol of the tragedy. For decades, it stood abandoned, slowly decaying under the weight of time and neglect. Locals avoided the property, claiming they could hear whispers or see shadowy figures moving inside. In 1967, the ruins of the farmhouse were demolished, but its legacy lives on in books, documentaries, and online forums dedicated to solving the mystery. Modern forensic techniques have shed some light on the case. In recent years, DNA testing was conducted on remains found at the site, but the results were inconclusive. Without new evidence, the truth about Hinterkaifeck may never come to light. Still, the case serves as a reminder of how fragile life can be and how quickly peace can turn into chaos. Was it a jealous lover, a vengeful worker, or something more sinister? One thing is certain: the Hinterkaifeck murders remain one of the most chilling unsolved mysteries in history. Whether you believe in ghosts or not, the story of Hinterkaifeck reminds us that some secrets are buried too deep to uncover.